What do you feel about your chances going into Pocono?
Yeah, this is a good track for us. We've run well here the last couple of years, especially in this next gen era. So feel good about it. I mean, this is one of those places when you hit it right, you hit the balance right, you hit the setup right, you can have a lot of speed. And the straightaways are long, and so being good here really pays, right? Like if you're a little bit off, you pay the price going down those straightaways if you don't keep that momentum up. So it's always been a good track for us. It's a good weekend for us to keep building momentum and try to win.
Obviously, you came very, very close to a win at Talladega. How disappointed were you, that on the last few laps, you had to lose out to Tyler Reddick?
Yeah, I mean, you're always disappointed. I mean, especially when you have a shot at winning and it doesn't work out, and especially when you make a mistake and it's your fault, right? That's always twice as hard. But I've been doing this a long time. There's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows in this sport, and you don't get it right every weekend. You learn from those weekends that you don't get it right, and I'm just proud that we've had speed this year to be up front and to challenge for wins, and that won't change moving forward. So just got to maximize and execute next time we get the opportunity.
So, Michael, I am going to ask you something, and you can choose not to answer, and we can also take that off the tape.
Okay.
So, basically, at Talladega, like our team at Fan Control Racing, the SS Greenlight team, we were there, and we got to know from our crew chief that you were the one who kind of like complained because we were very very noisy,
Yeah.
and that got us kicked out. So,
Oh no. What do you mean?
so Jason Miller, do you know Jason Miller, crew
No.
chief of Mason Massey?
No, I
So,
don't know.
okay, so he told us that apparently you were the one, who complained that we were very, very noisy.
Oh no. I got 5 kids. We're super noisy, so I don't
Okay.
think it would have been me. You saying at Talladega?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
at
no.
that.
No, I mean, I didn't for sure. Yeah. If you guys were loud, I didn't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I hadn't heard that. That's the first time I'd heard that.
So we basically published a story that you might have been that guy. So we
Oh
will,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we will publish a new story
Yeah.
and clarify that you were
No,
not the one.
wasn't me. Wasn't me. So you got kicked out of the.
Yeah, so our team at Fan Control Racing, like they were very, very noisy,
Oh
the
yeah.
the team owners, and they got kicked out.
Oh, okay, okay,
So
I
the
got you.
crew chief told us that it was apparently you, like
Oh
he
no,
heard it from someone.
no, not me, not this time.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, the way I'm wired, if somebody was keeping me up, I'd just go outside and say, "Hey, can you calm it down a little bit?" I don't know if I would know who to call to kick somebody out of it, but yeah, no, it wasn't me.
So you said you have 5 kids and it
Yeah,
it,
5.
it, it it gets very noisy from your side
Oh
also.
yeah.
So have you ever had someone come up to you and say can
No, I've never had anybody come up and be like, "Hey, can you keep it down?" Yeah, no. My wife, she's always worried about it. She's like, they're gonna hear you yelling at your kids, and I'm like, I don't care if they hear us yelling at our kids. This is life. Like we live out here on the road, right?
Right.
And anybody that has kids knows that it's not always unicorns and rainbows, right? So you're in close quarters with everybody, but I feel like this is kind of our home away from home, and so I don't treat it any differently.
Yeah, so a slightly left field question for you. Who do you think is a lucky dog of NASCAR?
The lucky dog. Um, Man, that's tough. That's hard to answer because I don't. Let me just say it this way: I don't believe too much in luck, and what I mean by that is I believe in timing and preparation, right? And so when you look at certain situations, you could be like, "Oh man, that guy was really lucky," and I don't feel that way because I feel like at this level, you have to be prepared and you earn every opportunity you get. Now, timing is super important, right? Like when you're available, when your price is up, right? When you're succeeding and running well. So, when you look at a guy like Ross Chastain, he was a grinder and he just kept grinding it out, grinding it out. Everybody could see his talent and his
Right.
potential, but had he not got a break to sit in super competitive cars, we wouldn't know how good Ross is, right? And I think that goes the same for everybody. Um, so when I think about guys like that, I don't think about lucky because he's obviously earned it. Josh Berry, right? Like he's very fortunate that he got the ride that he got, but he earned it. Winning races and winning championships and doing it year after year after year. Even though it's at a lower level, he still earned that opportunity. So I never feel like it's lucky, if that makes sense. I feel like at the cup level, everybody earns their spot. How you get there is different, whether it's family or relational or sponsorship. But in order to stay here and sustain it, you have to run really well, right? And so, yeah, I don't think there's anyone that stands out. But I mean, I put myself in that category. I was very fortunate to get a ride, after feeling like, oh man, haven't done enough to stay in the sport. You lose a job, fortunately to get another one, and then it gets a little bit better, a little bit better, and a little bit better, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, like we're running good now and contending. So if you sit in a seat on Sunday, you should feel very fortunate.
Yep.
All of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one final one. Who do you think is the unlucky dog of NASCAR?
Unlucky. Same kind of thing. I do feel like you create your own luck sometimes. Um, but if you look at Denny Hamlin, he's had a Hall of Fame career, but I would say he's been fairly unlucky when it comes to the championship stuff.
Okay.
He's had plenty of speed and he's put himself in position to do it. But then you look at Carl Edwards and you look at Mark Martin, those guys, same, right? Those guys were in those positions many times and it didn't work out. But recently, obviously Kyle Busch has been fairly unlucky, right? Some of his own doing, mostly not of his own doing. But that happens. I mean, you get into these slumps where it literally feels like you can't do anything right. And then there's times where you feel like you can't do anything wrong and you don't really know what's changed or what's different. So timing and momentum is a big part of this sport. And if you get on the wrong side of it, it's hard to get out.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.